Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Mabry here, and today we are finally recontinuing Fugoukeiji, otherwise known as the Millionaire Detective. So, this show was actually delayed from last season due to COVID-19, and now we are finally up to the latest new episode. And it was quite sad that it got delayed because this was honestly turning out to be one of my favorite series from the last season. I just absolutely love the main character, Daisuke, who is, a rich boy, of course, but using the powers for good, if you will. And I just love how over the top it was. He's literally just throwing money at his enemies, slapping them with wads of cash, and, well, just being a general badass at it as well, right? So, absolutely love this character. His counterpart, Haru, kind of meh for me, to be honest. I feel like, yeah, sure, he's on the side of justice and all that, and I'm sure he has a good heart, and so on and so forth, but honestly, 2 episodes in, he kind of seems like he has a stick up his butt all the time, so, well, we'll see, right? I mean, obviously, there should be a reason why Daisuke specifically approached Haru and trying to have some kind of relationship with him. Obviously, Daisuke could have gone to any other unit within the police force, but he chose this specific unit and specifically partnering up with Haru. So there must be some context to that as well, which I hope we will learn in the following episodes. But anyways, last time we were left off, I do believe that Daisuke and Haru were sent to Hong Kong on official business. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the episode. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Aw, man. Excited for this one. Yeah. Come on. Oh. This is not Hong Kong. Wait, what? Are you actually in Hong Kong? Oh, they're back. Is this his grandma? That's hmm. Hey. I was looking forward to seeing them in Hong Kong. He's annoyed. Well, okay, I think that's only fair, right? Sometimes you gotta have some give and takes, right? Yeah, it's been a while. I still find it very ironic that they're literally making him to be like the exact opposite of how he was supposed to be back in the novels. Completely over the top flashy. Unlimited. Where are you? Oh, you're certainly the social type. Um, just casually striking up a conversation on a high-speed rail. Are we actually gonna see him again? I mean, I'm assuming this. That's weird. Oh, terrorist attack? It was. No. Scandal? Mhm. Well, they certainly have their priorities straight. Nice, okay. And then he's here already. Oh, it's the first division. Alright. Holy shit. Nice parkour skills. What? What the hell? There's a co-perpetrator? Why would you be down a... I don't get it. That makes absolutely no sense to me. She was in on it. Just because she was a woman doesn't make her... What the hell? What? Riot gear? Yeah. That seems super dangerous. Isn't that... What? And they gotta be careful not to electrocute themselves. Seriously? お Getting prepared for snipe. Ah, but it's obscured. Well, Daisuke gives no shits about laws and regulations. Alright, how much money is he gonna spend this time? You know, if this was an actual terrorist, the hostages would be. I still don't get why he feels responsible for the last one. Normal police doctrine wouldn't be shooting to disarm anyways. Oh, he knows how to use. Yeah, he's like, that was eh. He flunked his school exams, so I guess he isn't the brightest tool in the shed. What the hell? What the? Oh my. Oh. What? You have got to be shitting me. The fuck? Oh my god. Toy gun? Of course. Is he going to just simply pay for that? But he has to go to jail, right? What a farce. This isn't exactly something that you can do just with money. Like, they literally had to gather up and... They were preparing for a concert! No, that was... Oh my... There are so many things wrong with this. Because I believed you? Oh my god. I mean... Okay, we'll talk more at the end of the episode. Alrighty, so another 12 million US dollars or so down the drain for Daisuke, but hey, his funds are limited, right? It's been a long time since we've seen this series, and like I said at the beginning, I was really looking forward to this. But I'll be honest here, I was quite aggravated by what happened in this episode. There were a lot of things that did not sit well to me, mostly in regards to Haru here. Now, first of all, what he did in the okay, for the record, what he is bashing himself under, like the past that the troubled past that he has. For the record, on my side, I actually don't fault him for actually killing that woman. He can have his own morals, moral standard that he wants to have, fine. But to me, actually, that was the correct decision to make. In fact, I would say that the wrong decision, the fault that I would give for him in that situation, was when he tried to disarm the actual, criminal by trying to put a shot through his arm and disarming him rather than actually, completely apprehending him, right? Now then again, of course, that is a kind of a judgment call, but I feel like throughout this episode, even though people keep on going and saying how Daisuke is selfish and whatnot, and he just does whatever he wants, I would say Haru's behavior is even more blatantly that, trying to carry out his own selfish wish of his own, due to his own sort of idealistic standards, right? To me, the most important thing in these kinds of situations is the protection of the innocent bystanders, be it the hostages or yeah, basically bystanders in general, because they are innocent people. They do not deserve to be put in harm's way. You might ask, what's the difference between what Daisuke does and what Haru does? Well, remember, back in 2 episodes in the past, what kind of situation were we met with, right? In the first episode, where there was this sort of robbery and whatnot, what Daisuke did was actually clear the path, right? Clear everybody away from the criminals and allow them to go into an isolated area where he and Haru could then apprehend them using whatever methods that they want to, right? The only things that were harmed there were property, so property damages, but nobody would be in harm's way because everybody was kept out of the area. In the second episode, where they went after a crime boss within a party, that one was a little bit more sketchy to me. I feel like that was definitely much more worthy of being called out for having negligent behavior. Still, though, we have to understand that during the second episode, the other bystanders, right, the other partygoers and attenders, they weren't actually in harm's way. The criminals or the suspects at that point were not actively trying to harm or restrain the partygoers and use them as hostages and whatnot. So I think that is a completely different situation. Here, though, in this situation, like, I can't. I mean, sure, it turned out fine in the end, right? But what if his hunch was wrong? Like, this is so... I can't... Like, I don't even know if I should be feeling so enraged over this, considering that this is more or less a sort of gag anime, right? It's supposed to be over the top, it's supposed to be funny, but see, there is a difference here between how the characters are portrayed, right? Daisuke, of course, is a ridiculous character. He's not realistic at all, so I can view him in more or less in just a gag manner, if you will. But for Haru, who is supposed to represent a more down-to-earth or more realistic member, I have to be a bit more critical of him because he is supposed to be the guy with who's supposed to be the sane person compared to the insane Daisuke, right? So I really cannot condone these actions. Like, what if, even back in the bank scene, right, where he took out the criminal, where he took out the robber there, what if the robber actually had a backup weapon? What if he had a grenade? What if he had a second gun? What if he had a knife, right? I mean, that, like I said again, that is more of a judgment call more than anything, but I think if you look up literature in regards to these kind of situations, police are trained to use deadly force if they see that a criminal is putting people in harm's way. Shooting to disarm is much more of a Hollywood thing than a real life thing, okay? So that is definitely, I feel like at that scene, him choosing to make this judgment call was actually putting the rest of the hostages under harm's way, because he can't 100% guarantee what will happen then, right? And the same thing here. Sure, it turned out to be an entire farce in the end, but so what? You do like 5 minutes of investigating, you hack into his email, and you say, okay, he has a sick sister, right? What if, the context for completing this was actually him having to do a hit job or something? You don't understand, like, desperate people are when people do desperate things and they don't completely act logically. Of course, we already see here that he acted illogically by holding a hit train hostage and then putting it up on the equivalent of YouTube, right? So, if somebody can already go through the mental gymnastics to do something like this, how can you be 100% sure that he's not going to resort to violence when pushed to the limit, right? Now, am I saying that they have to go in guns blazing and kill him right there on the spot? No, I definitely feel like they should have considered using more other sorts of non-lethal means rather than just putting a sniper there right then and there. But could you really blame them, right? There was only one instance where I feel like they could have had the opportunity to apprehend him with non-lethal force, and that was the scene where his gun was knocked out of his hands. And, I gotta say, what was the other guy, the one from the First Division, the red-haired dude? Like, he completely failed at his job as well. When you see that situation, you don't walk up to the gun and check if it's a mono gun. You run up there and tackle the criminal and make sure to restrain him, and then you can do the later investigation things after that. Secure the criminal first, make sure the hostages are safe, make sure the innocent bystanders are safe, and then do all the investigation you want, right? So in this case, like, sure, it turned out to be a model gun in the end. Great. So that means that his sentence is going to be a bit lower, right? So instead of being charged for assault and whatnot by carrying a deadly weapon and with the intent to use it, he might only have charges of false imprisonment and intimidation, which, I don't know, maybe about 3 years in jail, and with early release pending good behavior, right? Rather than if it was an actual gun and he was carrying this out, holding a trained hostage and whatnot, we could be looking at up to 10 years in jail, or perhaps even more. I mean, this is Japan, right? So I'm not exactly up to snuff with the legal literature in terms of Japanese law, but I would expect it to be not so much different from area to area Japanese. Yeah, it shouldn't be too much different. I'm sure that they have the same equivalent of false imprisonment and intimidation as well, which should more or less work out to like 3 or 5 years, something like that. So, I mean, yeah, like I said, I don't even know if I should be so worked up again for such an anime that is obviously trying to be not so serious, but because Haru is being a serious character, I can't help but view his actions through a more serious lens, and through that kind of lens, I have to say he's failing at his job a whole lot. I would definitely not feel safe with him as a police officer, in my as you know as someone who is supposed to protect the public and protect the citizens, right? I definitely feel like he is putting his own beliefs over the safety of the people, which is definitely not a good thing. Alright, so I feel like I've made my point clear here already. Once again, not exactly, it's not like just a bloodlust in saying that, oh, you gotta kill this guy and go in guns blazing, yeehaw, and whatnot. But still, for me, the safety of bystanders is the number one priority that the police should be. Well, okay, to be fair, I think that in a lot of situations they might also prioritize their own lives first, right? Their own safety, and then the safety of the hostage, and then at the very last is the safety of the criminals, right? Obviously, it could be changed based on person to person and whatnot, but I feel like teaching self-preservation is something that most police would view as part of their doctrine as well. You can have your own debate as to which one is more. Like, you could have a more idealistic point of view, but even then, it should be protecting the people, protecting the innocents, and not protecting the criminals. All right. So yeah, anyways, that's it for this episode, and hopefully for the next one, I won't have to be so... Hopefully they do a completely different kind of crime, so I don't need to be fuming at the actions of Haru for this episode, and... yeah, that's it. But, of course, I'm welcome to hear your guys' opinions as well. I think I've made myself quite clear what my stance is already. So, there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.